What's up, gamers? Red Dragon here, and we are talking about Battlefield Hardline. So the beta is getting ready to wrap up, and I've put in a few hours playing with Swank and Farva. So I wanted to kind of give you my thoughts about the game and talk about all the controversy that's been surrounding it. I've seen a lot of people post up videos saying, don't buy this game, telling you exactly what the game is, saying that it's just a remod or a reskin of Battlefield 4. Some people are upset because the game's coming out too soon after Battlefield 4, they say, and some people are upset for other reasons. But let's talk about that. Is the game just a reskin or a remod of Battlefield 4? My honest opinion is, I think it's way too early to know. You're basing everything, you're coming up with an entire opinion about a game based on a beta, which is just one map that you got to play and 2 game modes. And there's still several months between now and the release of the game. A lot of people said, you know, this is just a money grab because they're just slinging this out here. But Visceral claims that they've been working on this close to 3 years, and that Visceral is the lead developer. So it's not DICE. Visceral is in charge of the multiplayer and the single player campaign. Now, I remember a beta called Battlefield 3, and I remember everybody getting upset whenever that beta come out. And if you don't remember what happened, let me remind you. Battlefield 3 came out with the beta for Operation Metro. The first thing, people were upset with the graphics. They said these are dumbed down graphics, you know, the resolution was terrible, all this. And of course, it's a beta. And betas aren't the full release of the game. And whenever the game did come out, they did have an HD package that you could download if you were on consoles, and it did make everything look a whole lot better. The other thing about Operation Metro was that there were no vehicles. There was also very little destruction. And I remember everybody coming out of the woodwork saying, look what Battlefield's doing. Battlefield is just going into the same line as like COD, and so it's just going to be infantry on infantry. They're getting rid of the vehicles, blah, 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 because you're only seeing a very small part of the game. And now we all know that whenever Battlefield 3 did release, the majority of the maps weren't like Operation Metro. Operation Metro did end up being a very popular map. It still is to this day. But the rest of the game did have plenty of vehicles. It did have plenty more to offer than simply what the beta allowed you to see. And of course, the betas come out because, one, it gives you a place to be able to play the game so they can get feedback. So hopefully you don't have another screw up like they did with Battlefield 4, so it gives them feedback on the gameplay, and so you can tweak things and stuff like that. But you gotta know that there's a lot more content that's to be seen. And, you know, if the game does come out and it is just a reskin or a remod, we'll hear about that whenever the reviews finally release. But you're not reviewing the full game right now. You have not played the full game. Nobody has. And so anybody who's telling you what the game is simply speaking out of their ass. And they don't know. And maybe they are right. Maybe they'll end up being right. But we're not going to know that until people actually play the full game, and then we start getting the reviews. And then you can make an informed decision. But this deal with just coming out and stating things as fact when you don't know them, you can't know them, I think that's very premature. Because like I said, the Battlefield 3 beta, everybody was up in arms about that because they were just so sure that this was what Battlefield was going to do, that they were going to get rid of the vehicles, that it's just going to focus on infantry like a COD game or something like that. And then ended up not being the case whatsoever. Now, the Visceral devs, they've come out and they've actually addressed this. They say, obviously, we've got a wide range of maps, we've got a lot more weapons, we've got a lot more cool gadgets, and we've got exciting stuff to show you in the upcoming weeks and months. And they say we've got a slew of new game modes. They say, I think you'll understand where the value proposition is with this game. There's a lot of new content. It's not just a reskin or a reuse of assets. We've got all new assets. We've got a lot of stuff still coming in. So look forward to that in the future. So again, there's several months between now and the release of the game. I honestly had a lot of fun with the beta. And, you know, only until we know more and we get to see more will we know if it's worth the full price of a brand new game, and only then will we know if it's a remod or a reskin of just Battlefield 4. And, you know, what else do you what else are you expecting or wanting in a game? Like, should they totally change the way the guns shoot? Should they totally redesign the P90 and all these other guns? You know, what is it that you expect whenever you get a full game? Because, I mean, do you consider Battlefield 4 just a remod and a reskin of Battlefield 3? I want to know. Post below, let me know. Do you think it's way too early to be able to give a full review and a full opinion on whether or not to buy this game simply based on one beta, that's one map, and 2 game modes? That does it for me, the Red Dragon. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.